Hello everyone, hope we're all good, and today we are going to be doing a comparison video between my 1980s micromark 9-inch desk fan and my 2022 status 9-inch desk fan. Now these two 9-inch desk fans are very different. After all, the micromark is the most best made one here that we've got for this comparison. The micromark is the most best made one, and the status one is the most budget priced one. So obviously the micromark one's older, so it's better made. The status 9-inch is the newest one, so it's a bit less well built, but the status one ain't bad. And I easily do think that the micromark one could be could win to be the better one for the better 9-inch desk fan in my collection of built quality wise. The status 9-inch would probably be the lowest, but it don't matter, it's fine. And so the micromark 9-inch I have had for a year and a few months. I bought the micromark off eBay last year in October. I bought the micromark for £14, and it was like, I think it was like £5 something for postage, I can't remember, but it was £14 in total. Yes, the proper price was £14. And yeah, I thought that as the seller was getting rid of it, and I can actually still remember that when I first got the fan, when it first arrived, I can still remember that it was actually well packed, because it was in a big box, and when I say big, I mean massive. And as it's only a 9-inch desk fan, the box was obviously bigger than the fan, so I could tell that the seller wanted me to, well, still wants me to look after it, because I'd actually packed it really well and no damage to it. Obviously it's gone a little bit yellow over the years, but that's just because it's an old fan. I think even if this micromark 9-inch was brand new, if it was one of these older fans that we get from eBay, brand new, still completely packaged up in the box, I think even if it was brand new, it'd probably gone a bit yellow, because the original box probably'd be a bit tatty, and it'd probably have some little holes at the side, and some sunlight probably get through, depends where it's been stored away. Specifically, stuff on the micromark specifically, yeah, so it has gone a little bit yellow over the years. I think the base bit down here has gone a bit yellow, where it says where its switch is, and where it says micromark 9-inch cool fan. I think that's gone a little bit yellow over the years, but I don't mind, because at least that sign tag is still in good condition, where it says micromark 9-inch cool fan. Yeah, so the micromark has gone a little yellow in odd places. The badge has certainly gone quite yellow. The oscillating switch has gone a little bit yellow as well. Apart from that, I think everything else. I surely think that everything else is still quite white. And the status 9-inch I got from a charity shop. The status 9-inch was about £3.99. It was from my local Age UK charity shop. That's from my local Age UK charity shop. That's where the status 9-inch came from. And the status 9-inch has still got its price sticker on the base, and it still says it's £3.99. The status 9-inch here was a recycled domestic appliance at my local Age UK charity shop. It was a recycled domestic appliance, because it says at the bottom of the price, I'm recycled. which is what I think Age UK seem to do with their domestic appliances these days. They seem to say that the appliance is recycled. So I decided to keep the price sticker on it because it doesn't do any harm to the fan. All it is that the price sticker's just sat on the base. If you can't see it, in case you can't see it, it's just here, where my finger was just now. That's where it is. So it still says it's £3.99. And also, as the Status 9-inch came from a charity shop, and also as it came from a charity shop, it's been tested as well. It's got an electrical safety test sticker on the plug, and it says passed, which means it's safe. And so anyway, both of the fans, both of them have got different types of buttons. I meant to say different types of switches. So the micromark has got a slider switch, so it's in the off position at the moment. When you slide it into the middle, it's on the lowest speed setting, and when you slide it to the end, it's on the highest speed setting. The Status 9-inch is just a communal budget price 9-inch desk fan. The Status 9-inch has just got completely ordinary buttons for free position, of course. And actually, talking of Status, my extension lead that I've got in the corner, that's a compact heavy duty extension lead. So my compact heavy duty extension lead, which is in the corner, which both of the fans are plugged into, that extension lead is actually branded by Status. So it's a compact Status heavy duty extension lead. But I don't really like to use it for heavy duty. I just like to use it for extended like videos like I'm doing now, because obviously I might not have, like, obviously the fans mains cords, if I'm doing a comparison like now, the fans mains cords might not be as long enough to reach to either another extension lead that's a little bit further away, or to a communal extension lead, plug socket, I mean. So yeah, now I think that, and that's a video I'll probably do in the future. My Status 9-inch desk fan is plugged into a Status extension lead. It's quite interesting, I think, because manufactured with the same appliance, like my compact heavy duty extension lead is branded by Status as well. So it's only a two-socket extension lead, but it works well. I've tested it on my fans. It works. The extension lead does a lot of good work for me by plugging in my domestic appliances and stuff, including my fans. Most of my domestic appliances, anyway, are fans. So yeah, going back to the micromark for a second, I can still remember that micromark was a very, very good qualityed, guaranteed domestic brand. That's what micromark used to do as a good company for making domestic appliances. I've always been quite fond of micromark fans. I've always dreamed to have a micromark fan, and I'll always remember that was the first micromark fan I'd ever had. I can tell you this is not the first Status fan I've ever had. I've had a few more Status fans in the past. Yes, I've got a few other Status fans in my collection. You'll see those at a later date. And so anyway, let's turn the fans round. So the sides look incredibly different. I've always liked the motor cover design that the micromark 9-inch has got, because micromark have been on that design since I think this particular model of micromark fan has been made. Because my micromark 9-inch, my micromark 9-inch wasn't made in China, it was made in Taiwan. My micromark 9-inch was made in Taiwan, not China. I know Fan Fanatic has got a micromark 9-inch, although his one is the 1990s one. And Fan Fanatic's micromark 9-inch will have been made in China. But my micromark 9-inch is made in Taiwan, so my one's better. But it's good that Fan Fanatic has got his micromark 9-inch. I've seen his one, and yeah. Yeah, so they both look. Yeah, they both just look the same. I think not quite the same. Don't know why I keep on saying the same. Yes, the Status 9-inches. I think the motor cover's a little bit lower down, whereas the Micromarks is a little bit smaller, but a little bit higher up. I must admit, the Micromark has got a good carry handle. It's nice and wide. And the Status's one is a bit thin, which, if I was to stretch that out, depending on the build quality, depending on how good or how bad the build quality is on the Status 9-inch, if I was to stretch that out, it'd probably just break or something, depending on the quality of the mesh grill, because obviously that is built on. Not like the Micromark, because the Micromark has got the carry handles built into the motor housing's case, whereas the Status 9-inch, the carry handle's actually on the top of the rear grille. Yeah, but basically I just happen to think that the Micromark in a lot of ways is better. So we'll just have a look at the rating stickers. Put the Micromark back and I'll tilt it up slightly because it likes to tilt down, I feel like. Have a little look at the Status. Apologies if you can't clearly see that. But besides, the Status 9-inches rating sticker is for some reason upside down. Just like you probably have noticed in the past that when I've done videos on my Micromark 9-inch, is that the Micromark's badge is also upside down. I think the front grille was accidentally put on the other way. When the seller bought that Micromark brand new, must have bought it brand new, must have been their old fan. They must have got rid of it because they wanted to buy something new. I'll just tilt the Micromark up slightly because I feel like it keeps on wanting to tilt down. Right, so anyway, we can switch them on, start them on the low speed. Apologies that the Micromark's a bit noisy. Yeah, I think that might have been the reason why the original owner was getting rid of the Micromark 9-inch, was because it does that. Kind of shaking a little bit. Works well, just a little bit shaky, that's all. I think all old fans would do that in the end. So that's the lowest speed setting. So that's the highest speed setting. You just demonstrate oscillation. Very nearly blowing into each other. Yeah, they both seem to work alright. Just quietly oscillating like that. I must say, I think the most quietest one at the moment has got to be the Status one, because the Micromark one's a little bit shaky. I do remember that when I first wanted that my Micromark 9-inch, I still remember when I first wanted it, I do actually still remember that the seller put on the eBay listing saying that it made a little bit of a rattling noise when you turned it on. It still makes that noise now. They both seem to, yeah, so I think they both seem to work alright. just very nearly oscillating into each other. I'll just stop the micromark. We'll just stop them from oscillating. I'll just put them on low speed. See what low speed and oscillation's like. Weren't too bad. I suppose it's alright. Yeah, it's not too bad. I suppose it's pretty much alright. It's just the micromark goes a little bit more rattly when you switch it back to low speed. Status ones are still running quite smooth. Because when with the micromark 9-inch, I prefer to be careful, especially if I was taking it apart, because the type of design that the micromark's got, on the inside of the front grille, it's got some very, very silly clips that are just made from very silly plastic, high top quality plastic, that are as old as the fan. And you have to be specifically careful for taking old fans like my micromark apart, because those clips could snap, but then the ring would also snap off as well. Because I know my Colton DF9W 9-inch desk fan, the one I got brand new from my Colton DF9W 9-inch, that's got those silly rings, and I don't think I'll be able to take it apart unless I really be really brittle. But that's just a case of risking the clips to snap off, but also the ring. Not sure if I'm going to use that Colton at all this summer. I did use it a little bit last summer. I wanted to give it a little bit of first use, but I'm not sure if it's going to have any future use, only because it's going to be really difficult to clean. So we'll watch the spin down. Finally the micromark stops rattling. See which one stops first. The micromark stopped first and the status 9-inch was last. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching and see ya.